So did you send me the link today?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make sure that's Ted. He wants you to send the link.
I sent it to him too. Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool.
Go ahead.
Well,
Hello,
yeah, but
everybody.
hey, hey,
Good
everybody
morning,
used to us. They
everybody.
know good morning. Hey, everybody out there in podcast land, that's why we call ourselves Simply Us. We talking about something that's it. The good news is Dr. Ted is back in town. And we as professional as we can. So we sending Dr. Ted the link and he's on this morning. Anyway, send it again, baby, because evidently I didn't send it or he didn't get it. But to everybody out there in podcast land, y'all know who we are. We call ourselves Simply Us, and we're out here getting started. You know, CC has to be our engineer, and she wants me to be as polite, proper, professional as I can. Good luck with that, right, Gina? No, we talking about something she done, but you live, baby, you live. I'm the one that says we're live. Until I say we're live, the show didn't start anyway. Now,
Well, start the show because ain't nobody come to hear you talk on the phone. You had all morning to talk on the phone. So let's do that.
Gina, that's what I was telling you. That's what I was telling you, Gina. That's what I was saying. That's why I said that when we was closing the thing last time.
Wait a minute, my second topic might even address that. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, change your second topic to your first topic because you should address that immediately. You know who she thinks she's talking to, especially the guys out there in park class land. Know I'm party. No, you don't talk to me like that. I ain't just anybody. I'm party. Get yourself together. Now that being said, hey, out there, me party. Y'all saw me address that, didn't you? Try to get out the gate on me, didn't you? Hey, Jack, ain't nothing changed.
Mm-hmm. And y'all also see how much I cared, right?
I still won, even though you might have got the last word, and I still won. I won the argument. I
I
won.
know
Y'all know I won. Everybody podcast land know I won. Gina, you know I won. She ain't gonna say nothing. She just want to get the last word. I won. Everybody
right
out there, good morning to y'all. Good morning. Good morning. We call ourselves Simply Us. I'm your fearless leader, Party Marty. I have 7 jobs.
Oh my goodness. Now you got 7.
We're anchored by Gina Lee, who is our historian who does usually 2 topics. Dr. Ted Sutton is back from Hawaii, visiting the house, to say over there, getting people straight, saving the world. Gina Lee spoke the truth on our last episode of the podcast. She just was talking about where people are and what they were doing, and she just said, you know, Dr. Ted is out addressing situations, saving the world. I really like everybody to honestly just know exactly what y'all have in us, what y'all have in your viewing, listening, talking to podcast person, Simply Us. You have 4 people. Hey, Doc.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, welcome back from the sunshine.
Hey, hands up, y'all. Hands up. Y'all world traveling, Dr. Sutton. Welcome back, Jack.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, I know it's good to be back, but it'd be even better if I was gone.
I laugh about that because you know what? While I was over there, my wife, she was like, I don't know, I should start looking for a job here. She said, I like it here. I was like, yeah. I said it's time that, you know, it was like I heard that song, you know, saying back to life, back to reality. When I got off the plane, you know what I'm saying? I was like, back to life and back to reality.
Back to reality, yeah. That's a good segue. That's a perfect song for it, too. You know, right. My wife has this saying, it is so funny. We our date night this weekend was Maryland Live. We went to stay out Maryland Live. I don't know if y'all ever been there. I'm always at we always go to the Horseshoe, you know, but we we support Las Vegas. We're our go-to place is Vegas, so we go there all the time. My wife gambles. She plays that penny machine. And once again, congratulations to Cece for doing good. Cece is real lucky with that. She wins. But let me tell you though, she'll put it back with the quickness. You hear me? That's why you gotta be sitting right there, Gina. Doc, you gotta be sitting right there. You know what I mean? So she, oh look, baby, look. Ding, 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 ding,
But let me tell you something. In Maryland casinos, it's easy to put the money back because they don't give you free drinks.
Right.
And you can't smoke in there. And yes, I do a lot of healthy things, but I still have my vice. I smoke. So when you smoke,
Wait a minute. Tell me you smoke Black and Miles and enjoy yourself.
Yes, I smoke Black and Miles, but you can't smoke nothing in a casino in Maryland. So when you sitting there sober, you just pushing the button. Once you get a couple drinks up in you, when you in Vegas, then you figure out all kind of shenanigans to do, and you push a little slower. So,
and that's true. And I don't know. My wife made a good point too. Maryland Live was a nice place. I enjoyed it. I thought the Horseshoe was going to be, we go to the Horseshoe all the time. So I thought Maryland Live was going to be ritzy, and it was going to be more for the wonderful people. But it's not. It's just more for older people than me. It will remind you the difference between Carnival and Royal. Was it Royal Cruise? What is it?
Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean, yeah. I didn't like Royal Caribbean because I went there one time and we stayed on that nice fancy boat and it was a good time and it was nice and all that stuff. But by 10 o'clock, they was dead. Do you hear me? Wasn't nobody woke. There's old people. At Carnival, man, 3 in the morning, they still stumbling through your hallway. Nobody knows. So anyhow, it was a good time there. And I really enjoyed it, but if they would play some, okay, let me get you real quick. Let me tie this into a bow. You have people whose job it is to do certain things in industry. Dr. Ted goes over there to talk. Okay, Dr. Ted is the talker. That's fine and well. But for Dr. Ted to talk in Hawaii, somebody got to book him. Somebody got to fix the room. Right. Somebody got to tell him where to meet at the airport. Somebody got to be the director. Somebody got to be the engineer. It's a lot of pieces to just Ted going over there to speak. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Out there, Podcast Land, when you see us putting this on, it's a lot. My Gina makes a big deal about my wife's situation with being an engineer. My Gina always laughs and jokes. Say her famous line is, "Yeah, my wife, yeah, smartest person in the room." That's my wife always. That's what Gina says all the time. And remember, we got Gina got our pieces of paper on the wall and is smart. You know what I mean? We got a doctor with a PhD, and me, I'm the avid talker, the person who thought about the show, the starter, the founder, as Gina called me. But CC's thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? That's the pro. But CC's the engineer. And it takes a lot to put all this on.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. It takes a lot to put all this on. Now, in the live casino, they got some nice things going on there. The place is nice. They got plenty of machines, and then those machines hit, right, baby?
Yeah.
We gotta say they wasn't, they were hitting, so that was it. But the music was poured back, wasn't it?
Yes.
Whoever job it is for that portion, you know what I mean? Because a friend of mine, shout out to Antonio Holly, my friend. He is in hotel management. That's what his degree is, and people got a degree in all kind of crazy stuff. What's your degree in? You live in Iceland and you got a degree in horticulture. I mean, some of this stuff don't really make no sense. You know what I mean? Gina Lee said, really some things you don't get. Gina Lee says the biggest The strongest fire in the history of wildfires is in Siberia, which is the coldest place on the planet. Now, you can't tell me that makes any sense to me. I don't even know how that's even possible. Gina
Right.
says it's the coldest place in the world. And they have the biggest wildfire going on in the history of wildfires. Now, somewhere along the line, if y'all don't put the end of days together, you know what I mean? You Holy Roly Bible told us like me. You know what I mean? Dr. Ted Sutton is a PK. He's a preacher's kid. You see him as like that, but he's a PK. He's a preacher's kid. A lot of people out here, Lamont Baker, preacher's kid. They PKs. A lot of these cats are the preacher's kids. So when you see one side of them, Karen, Andre, you know what I mean? Brandon, that parents is Holy Roly Bible told us. Frank, his mother, Lil Frank, his mother's a pastor. So they see things differently. So if you don't think about the end of days when somebody tell you that the biggest wildfire in the world is going on at the coldest place in the world, that don't make you think about the end of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, this ain't making no sense. It's literally not making any sense, y'all. It's not making any sense. I know I'm rambling and stuff like that, but here's the way to bring this home. Hey, to everybody that's listening, boy, if you ain't ready, you better start getting ready.
You better.
If you ain't ready, you better start getting ready.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? Cece's gonna put our thing up there. Y'all know when we go 3, 2, 1, we got something about all you people to tell everything else. So we always got our saying for you. So to the panel out there, as we go back 3, 2, 1, let's give it to them. 3, 2, 1. Run, tell that.
Run, tell that.
Run, tell that. Y'all tell everything. Run, tell that. We may y'all be looking at literally the end of days. The end of days. It's not saying that the world's gonna be destroyed tomorrow, but believe you me, you better start getting yourself together.
You better.
You don't believe in the Lord by now, stuff like that. You better start. Any comment on that panel? Anybody?
Well, I already said that things are happening in biblical proportions. You know, it's just the fact that, you know, you have to say to you, like you say, you have to say to yourself, when this didn't ever happen before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we got floods, we got fires, we got pandemics, we got, I mean, people are just going crazy over just nothing. You know, it's really something to make you go,
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. You know, and just like you said, if you ain't right, you better get right. I tell people I never profess to be a Holy Roly Bible toter, but I know that I know God, and I know that I have a relationship with Him. So if you don't have one, you better get you one.
That's right.
Dr. Sutton.
Yeah, you don't have to have no minister's license, I would say, to see what's actually happening in the world. When you got people who died in an ice storm in Houston, Texas. I mean, when you think of Texas, most people think of like horses and you know, saying those
And
mountains
heat.
and deserts, you know, and I mean, but people actually, when they had an ice storm, they had people who were dying in their homes, freezing to death. And so, you know, when you see certain things happening to this degree, you know, I feel we have been living out revelations, you know, right now. I mean, you a lot of stuff that's actually happening, you see it, you know, it was actually, you know, talked about in the Bible and, you know, and everything else. And so, you know, people really have to, that's why I say be mindful of just how you treat people on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? You know, that stuff is real, and how you treat people. That's why we can't allow this world to change us from being good people to being you know, how people would want to treat us. You know, because don't worry, you know, somebody's treating you a certain way. God he'll take care of some of that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody out there. Thomas. Good morning, Big Cuz. Alan from North Carolina. You see, everybody was in town. Ursel and Nisi. Doc came over there. That's my cousin over there. God is trying to tell us something. You know, that's the one who we get the forward that I coined from my big cuz that I says grace and mercy. That's all that God get. That's all God needs you to have. After you get that, you're supposed to do the rest. But real talk.
Hey, Robert Young. Good morning.
Hey, Rob, how you doing, my friend? I see Tony was in there. BB, I'm sure you in there. Hey,
BB,
listen.
good morning.
I mean this when I say this. Real talk. DMX said it best. This is not a game. It's your life. Some of you people got in your mind, you think you're getting a do-over. You think that you're going to have these old screwed up, no good lives and all the stuff you're going to do that you didn't think nobody saw, that God didn't see it. You think that you're just going to get a, no, I'm going to do this all again. Yeah, Ted, I hope you had a good time in Hawaii. When I die and come back next time, I'll be in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Right. Hey, don't worry about it, CC. When I die and come back, I'm going to be an engineer. And Gina, all that history stuff you saying, I'm going to live all that, Jack. I'm going to be a doctor next time. That's what, you know, people really think they get a do-over. All jokes aside. You know what I mean? I try to remind people all the time, or when people hit you with that line, they say, yeah, but that's okay. I'm gonna get my reward in heaven and stuff like that. All that's fine and well, and I want to get mine too, but only my opinion. And I'm no authority on heaven, but I'm going. But let me tell you this, it's only my opinion. I don't know if it's going to be a Raven game in heaven. I don't know if you bowling at the bowling alley. I don't know if you're shooting marbles. I don't know if they're doing podcasts in heaven. I don't know if it's going to be all those things going on there. You know, God wants you to have a half-decent life while you're right here.
Right.
Let's think about it. I'm going to touch on the subject now real quick, and I'm going to get off of it because I don't want to step on too many people's toes about this, but this is piggybacking to another subject, another topic. You know, it's been a lot of death and murder's always going on. I always cry about my grandson being murdered. You know what I mean? I still cry about that. Can't get that out of my head. He had a chance to be anything in life. But you young ladies out there, you parents, what part are you playing when your 15-year-old child is murdered and killed in the alley? Let me get it to you again. Parents, what part did you play when your 14, 15-year-old child gets murdered in the alley? You don't even know they're gone until 1 o'clock in the morning because they don't come home until 1 o'clock in the morning. When you dress yourself up and you go into the cabaret and you make yourself look really good, and you know, I got a clothes fetish right now. My wife is giving me a passport to shop because I lost a lot of weight. I now wear 32 pants, and I used to wear 46. So I can't fit them anymore. I was a 5X, now I'm a small. I can't fit them anymore. So my wife knows that I'm doing a lot of shopping. Shout out to my godson, Trey Styles. My godson Trey, this is his line of clothing, Trey Styles PS. I get my hats and stuff from him, shirts and stuff like that, Trey. But when she left out the door, dressed promiscuous like that, provocative like that, when she left out the door when she was 13 and stuff like that, didn't you want to stop her then? Why did you tell her that looks good? It doesn't. If you're 13 years old, 14 years old, and your parents are allowing you to be dressed like that, if they not helping you or saying something to you, hey, Renee.
Hey, Renee.
Something to you, maybe somebody else should. That's, y'all, that's why we got aunts and uncles. Y'all know that? That's why they say you got big LYs and stuff like that. It takes a village. That's but be the uncle to say, hey, Jack, you know, your daughter, She gonna end up in somebody 21 with a Crescent back in the day, right? Ted and Gina, they had a Crescent and a Maxima. You ended up in their back seat.
Or on the pole.
Yeah, on the pole.
Yeah.
You know, these some of these, when you look at them and they post their pictures and stuff like that, I be saying, man, ain't no man in the world she no 15. Ain't no 15 years old. Yeah, she 15. Y'all dressing a little fast, a little loose, a little wild and stuff like that. And you attracting the wrong people. You're attracting the wrong people. And as parents, as you as a parent and stuff like that, don't stop being ashamed to just tell your kids no sometime. You know what I mean? Go upstairs and take that shit off. You know what I mean? You can't dress like that. Go, no.
That's right.
Yeah, then you walk. Yeah, you see them walking, Dr. Ted, when they walk, try to pull their skirt down. You can't pull it down; it's too short.
Yeah,
right.
Enough material.
Right.
And then get an attitude when you look at them. What you looking at? You wore that for me to look at, didn't you?
Right.
My mother used to always say, and then I'll bring this to the panel because I want to hear some comments on that. My mother used to always say, you left nothing to the imagination.
That's right.
He's already slept with you. Even if y'all haven't had your clothes off and been to bed, he knows all the parts of your body already. He just seen all your breasts, all your thighs, everything. You've showed him everything.
Social security number.
Everything but the social security number. Hey, Doc, you start us off. Comment on that topic, please.
No, I mean, and you know what? Some of those old sayings really, to me, you know, I think it meant something. Even when they like they used to tell me, and I didn't even want to go out until like almost 11 o'clock at night. And they would be like, well, why do you want to go out so late? And they would say, you know, something like, you know, ain't nothing open past 2:30 except for 7-Eleven and Legs.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I used to laugh at that, you know, but I thank God now to this day that I had parents that would not allow me to just take girls in my room and stay overnight.
Hell,
I ain't down to nobody that is, you know what I'm saying? But for me, because see, I was the one that would do more. I needed for somebody to say no to me. I needed for somebody to say, you can't do that here. You know what I'm saying? So I used to have to bring company and sit them right on that couch where everybody else gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? And everything else. And I did not have that opportunity to do what I want. I wanted to close doors and lock them. And I wanted to do something else. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I know my life would be different now. I would not be able to appreciate, you know what I'm saying, that they were giving me a chance and an opportunity to not get caught up with the system and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody was saying, nah, you're not going to do that around here. You know what I'm saying? And that helped save my life. Now, yes, did I still get into some trouble? But what kind of trouble would I have gotten into if I didn't have no filter at all? You know what I'm saying? It would have been 10 times what I did. So, you know, it's a big thing, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Before we go to the next person, I was looking at our good friend Kim is in there, Sister Kim Ward.
Hey, Kim.
When they out there dressed all promiscuous and the older guy get over there and he know that he can keep this young girl out all day long because her mother ain't gonna say nothing. In my Kim Waters voice, what would that guy say to her, CC? Thanks. Thanks. Kim always say, yeah, you done gave me your daughter. Thanks. You ain't got no time for it. That's what the corners over there say. You ain't got no friends. You want to be part of the gang. I'm going to initiate you in. Thanks. You know what I mean? What part did you play? Gina, comment?
Well, I'm listening to it and I think about my childhood years. I ain't gonna lie. I was out there being that promiscuous one. I mean, I got my studies done. I had good grades, but I was that one, you know. But so it just goes to show you. And I came from a good home, you know, with very strict rules. So just because I couldn't bring them home didn't mean that those things didn't go on.
Yeah.
You know, but I do realize that back then I'm thankful. One, we didn't have social media.
Right.
Because God knows where we would all be by now. Secondly, as I got older, I realized that I wanted something out of life because that's what I was taught. You know, that all my fun, I had my fun. I had it. And God, thank you, Jesus, that I got through the fun and survived it.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, with disease and everything else that was, out there, I'm blessed. I'm real blessed that, I didn't go down the wrong path. I didn't follow certain friends down the wrong path. I, had my fun, and I said, that's enough. You need to figure out what you want in life. So I'm very grateful that the times that I came up was a different standard of living. Just like we could leave doors open, leave your bikes outside, just your parents pretty much would let you go a few blocks away or whatever, didn't worry about you because they knew other parents were going to keep an eye on you,
Yeah.
See, nowadays, if your child gets out of your eyesight, you don't know if they'll ever come home.
Absolutely.
So,
hey, before you comment, CC, and close this topic, put Renee's up there, Miss Renee Allen. She
said you're right on all angles, but in today's world, it's being said that girls and women can dress provocative, and men, although tempted, can't respond without getting into trouble.
Ain't that the truth? Hands up, Renee. Hands up.
Yeah,
hands up, Renee.
You're right about that.
You nailed that thing.
And Tony said that parents aren't being parents. They want to be the kids' friends, and that's the big problem, right?
Ain't
there.
That the truth? Ain't that the truth? You at the club with your grandmother. CC talks about it all the time. You go in there, Jack, like that. You call a lady in the corner store Ma. You call a lady of Oriental descent Ma, and call your mother Shirley.
Right.
I wish I would. My son is almost 50 years old. My son's 48. He's almost 50 years old. And he may call me Pop sometime, but my name is Daddy. I ain't never Maurice. My son is going on 50 years old. All my kids in their 40s. You know what I mean? And you turn around and call me Party. Have you lost your damn mind? Don't have going. Not at all. CC, bring us home. Last comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I think that everybody is on point, and that's why I often say that you and Dr. Ted are fathers that I really admire, because with some of these young ladies, it's going to start with the father, and sometimes the fathers aren't around, but father figures and strong male role models in their life, because these young ladies don't know their worth. They think that all their worth is their body. They got to show their body to get some attention, but sometimes you get the wrong kind of attention, and they need somebody. That's why I say, shout out to Robert, 20's boyfriend, Maurice's granddaughter, her fiance. Robert dates his daughter. You know what I'm saying? She's 4 years old. He takes his daughter out on dates. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is too good for his daughter. So she's not easily impressed. And fathers, I say that because if a father shows their daughter from the jump what her worth is, these guys come along and they sway and woo these young girls with gifts and money and all. Give your daughter gifts. You know what I'm saying? Give her money. Buy her flowers. Take her out on a date. So when some man come along and offer that to her, she won't be impressed. But it's a sad state of affairs that people don't really know that. They don't really practice that anymore. So the first slick talking person that come along, you know, I had to catch myself from saying the N-word, but the first slick talking man, that come along and say, "Hey, baby, I could take you to the mall. I could give you some money for your pocket and all that," they gone because they fascinated by it. So teach them that from day one. So then they gonna look at them and say, "What else you got? My daddy been doing that for me since I was 4. What else you got?"
Right.
I shout out to my friend Kim Waters. I remember back in the day, years ago, she had a niece. To tell her business a little bit. She had a niece or a cousin or something like that who was headed the wrong way. So she told her mother that, you know, I'm gonna let her stay with me for a while. And you know, she went saving the world. Kim was like a supervisor in the airport, and you know, she had a good job, nice car, and all that, apartment. She went and took that little girl, and you know what I mean, had her doing good, buying her nice things, buying her clothes. I watched that little girl give Kim a headache. Do you hear me? I watched her give I watched her give her a headache. She just thought that she was going to just turn this little girl around because she bought her nice outfits, because she did that. That little girl was fine when she was in the house. Kim knows she was doing good. Kim told her one day, "If you don't get yourself together, I'm going to kill you." I was thinking that. You know what I mean? She said, "Little girl, if you come in this house that time of night again, I'm going to kill you." And I looked at it, and I watched how after all the money, all the time, all the attention, all the love that Kim put in that thing, when it was all over with, it still wasn't enough. Because she had been reckless and lawless for so long. Y'all know what I mean? If you've been staying out till 11, 12, 1 o'clock and you 13 years old, you can mean well, you can want to impress the person, you can do what you can to get the tennis. And she wanted to do good for Sister Kim. But Sister Kim obviously, she a Holy Roly Bible told her. She, like Gina, regular person out into the world and all that, but she a church person, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, all day. You know what I mean? And the girl was doing the best she could, but after not being exposed to that life, Ted, after not being in church all the time, you know what I mean? After a couple of weeks of that, you start rebelling against it. Mm-hmm. You start rebelling. And I watched Kim trying to put her work and, you know, doing what she could to change her. You know what I mean? And I know, because we work in that field, Shepard Pratt and Clifton T. Perkins and all that, sometimes that root, you know what I mean? You anchored in that. The reason why I was able to get out of it, and I tell this story all the time, if y'all don't know who I am, I'm West Baltimore Party Marty. My government name is Maurice Tate. You feel me? I'm an ex-dope fiend, jailbird thug. One more time. I'm West Baltimore Party Marty. And you think I'm just talking? Do your homework on me. Right. What you gotta do? I ain't running around acting like I'm the toughest in the world, but if they from West Baltimore, ask them, you know, Party Marty. If they don't, they ain't official. If you don't know me and my brother Black Purdy, you ain't official in West Baltimore. I ain't say you gotta know us and been hung with us and El Surf. You know where they are. If you was running around out there acting tough and you didn't know, we had tiers. I was up here. I'm in a tier. I'm up here. Now, Ted and them crazy Ted, Lil Melvin, Liddy Jones, you know what I mean? That we all here, but I ain't on that tier. If you don't know Ted, you don't see me say, "Hey, Jay, what Lil Melvin?" Yeah, who's Melvin? If you say you don't know who Lil Melvin is, you don't know who Liddy Jones, you don't know who Brown King is, you know what I mean? You don't know who Dennis Wise is, you don't know who Saeed is, you don't know who Buai Mustafa out of East Baltimore is. I'm saying you ain't official. Not saying nothing wrong with you, but I'm telling you, you ain't official. Right, Doc?
That's right. You're right.
You ain't official. You drop names. I tell y'all my story. I was out Cherry Hill. Got caught up in the wreck. You know what I mean? And then stuff like that. And I see these boys get ready to bring me a move. So I play it up. I said, hey, Jack, anybody seen K-Son? Man, what K-Son? I told me he gonna be out here, man. I'm sitting out here waiting on him. I ain't sitting out here all day. Hey, tell K-Son, man, you see K-Son, tell him Party out here waiting. And I must have lost his mind, got me sitting waiting, man. Tell K-Son Party out here waiting, man. I'm going on over there, be in my car. They was trying to bring me a move. I can see him. But they know if something happened to me and I just said I'm waiting on K-Son, You feeling me?
Right. You made them back up. That made them back up.
Yes, right. Yeah, it's gonna be some consequences and repercussions when they find out that, you know what I mean, you did something to me, and I told you I was here waiting on K-Son. You feel me? Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Sometimes drop names.
It's gonna be some furniture moving.
Yeah, gonna be some furniture moving. Drop some names. All right, y'all. Let's get into the show. Everybody, y'all know we're a praying group. You know what I mean? I guess what the show already started, isn't it?
Yeah, about 35 minutes ago. Let's go.
There you go. There you go. But y'all know something else.
It's never
never too late for prayer. It ain't never too late. I think I could be an engineer. I know how to make them colors change, and there's got to be a button. Start prayer, y'all. Father God, thank you for the wonderful things that's happening in all our lives. Father God, thank you for bringing Dr. Sutton back to us safely from his trip. Father God, we always make sure that we pray for the people over there fighting them God-forsaken wars, and it's a lot of them going on out there now, Father God, please. To the families, to the sons, to the mothers, to the sisters, to the brothers, to the cousins, to everybody that's losing people over there, people that's losing their lives over there, people that's being separated from their family. So we can do podcasts, watch Raven games, you know, hang out and eat bonbons. Father God, please touch them and keep them safe. Father God, we always pray for anybody that's out here dealing with this God-forsaken pandemic. We praying for anybody out there that still haven't got your shot. Got a word for you. Drum roll, please. Damn fools. Father God, please do whatever you can to touch their hearts so we can get ourselves together to get through this thing. My cousin is always listening at the show. She's the one big cuz. Her name is Helen. She always taught us the term grace and mercy. She says, if God gives you grace and mercy, once he opens your eyes, that should be all you need. Moment of silence, please. Amen.
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 Let's get into our show. Gina Lee, I know you've been over there patiently waiting and stuff like that today. Let me give y'all my segue, because y'all haven't heard my segue in a minute. Doc, I know you missed the segue, Jack. I really did. So let me hit y'all. Contessa, God bless it. This is wonderful. Thank you. Contessa and I grew up together. We've been friends for over 50 years, going on 60 years probably. Anyway, here's what I do out there in podcast land. Everybody that's listening, I know that y'all got Bob Barker who do his thing. They got Drew Carey who do his thing. They got everybody that Helen Jenner who do their thing. They all got their little way on their little shows. But this here, Simply Us, we got one big advantage. Your fearless founder right here got what we call the segue. It's what? There you go. Segue in. Every time I see that, I swear that don't say segue. A segue should be S-E-G-W-A-Y. But that's why I don't know degree.
Let me clarify. That is a segue, but that segue is like the little two-wheel scooters. That's that segue. This S-E-G-U-E is the segue that you're referring to. Trust me.
That's why I don't never say PhD in front of my name, because ain't no pictures in the books that they read. Now, that's what. No matter what Gina, what your degree is, you retired with all that kind of stuff, or doctor or engineer, ain't but one person got this smooth move right here. Watch this. I say, Gina Lee. How you doing? What's your topic today? Let's talk. Man, that's segue.
Well,
let's go.
Good morning, Simply Us audience. Good morning, Party Marty. Good morning, Cece. And
good morning, Gina.
Welcome back, Doc.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Doc.
Yes, we're happy to have you back.
Go ahead, Gina.
I kind of, we all know that our engineer has always had that topic about the virus, the numbers that are increasing, the masks that they're not wearing. But I came across two stories that I just said, you can't make this stuff up. Okay.
Let's go.
The first one, now, you know, everybody's having a debate about the masks. But in Texas, this parent on the very first day of school goes into the school and rips off the face mask of her child's teacher.
What?
Now, the superintendent says,
Wait a minute. Start that out. Give us that format again. Start that over. That you missed me with that. Say that again.
in Texas, first day of school, the parent went into the classroom and ripped the face mask off of her child's teacher.
Wow,
It's crazy.
Okay.
that's crazy.
Of course, the teacher, was trying to retaliate, but trying to stay professional at the same time.
Yeah.
The
I'd be foul.
Good for her.
the superintendent,
Yeah.
who is Tom Leonard for this county where this happened, said that they're in a whirlwind of action with the governor, the attorney general, judges, mayors, the superintendent, principal. Everybody in this county is all at odds at one another because of this darn mask mandate. Now, the problem is, this is in Texas.
Good old
where-
Texas once
where
again.
good old Governor Greg Abbott
Mm.
is the governor. And we all know, if you've been listening to the news, Governor Greg Abbott is now COVID positive.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
But he's the one that put out the executive order banning masks mandates.
The Governor Greg Abbott, who's already in a wheelchair. Excuse me for cutting you off, Gina, but it had to be said. You know, I've been on Texas back from the start.
I'm
Right.
like, it just, you can't make this up. This woman, these parents, they said, even though they don't, this is what the superintendent says. While many may not agree on the particulars, we all want students to be safe and we all should treat each other respectfully. Okay, I agree. But in the days leading up to the first school day, which was this past Wednesday, the parents were attacking the teachers. This wasn't the only incident. So the parent physically assaulted the teacher, one by ripping off the face mask, yelling at the teacher, and striking her because they couldn't understand what the teacher was saying while her face was covered. That was her reason. That was the parent's reasoning. So the superintendent says the staff are on the front lines of the pandemic. Let's give them some space and grace. Please, I am asking everyone to be kind. Do not fight mask wars in our schools. So in Travis County, the mandate masks in all schools are for all students from kindergarten through 12th grade. They're supposed to wear masks. But with Abbott's order, the superintendent said we have no legal methods to enforce the wearing of masks because the governor said we can't enforce it. So, he said, I will not make our staff be the mask police with no authority to enforce the rule. And I agree with him.
I agree with that.
I do too.
So to be
I
clear,
do too.
we respect the order, the Travis County order requesting masks, requiring masks, and highly encourage masks for all our students, staff, and visitors on our campus. So, he's saying that the hospitals are full, and we want to do our part to help, So he said that if adults choose to disagree and fight among themselves, please take it outside of our campus and out of our schools. The children are watching and learning how we behave. You know, so let's make the time for our students that they spend in school a joyful and positive experience. You know, it's crazy. So now also they had an incident in Amador County, California, where also another parent attacked a teacher following a mass dispute first day of school. You know, and then they had another angry protesters erupted in Franklin, Tennessee last Tuesday when they started yelling and heckling people staff wearing masks, and you know, as they were leaving their cars going into the school from the parking lot. So, you know, he's saying like children, they have shown more symptoms with the Delta variant than previous strains, and they have been increasingly hospitalized in recent weeks. The children's hospital is full where he is. And the Food and Drug Administration saying that last month that it hopes to offer authorization for children under 12 by early to midwinter. Okay. Now, if that wasn't crazy enough, let me tell you this other story. You know that the vaccine cards are like precious gold now. Right. Okay. Well, a pharmacist in Chicago has been selling the vaccine cards that the CDC had given him for $10 a piece since March. $10. He would risk our lives for $10 bucks. Okay. Now, if it's not bad enough, not only is he risking our lives, but now he's fired. He's lost his job as a pharmacist. A pharmacist, that takes a lot of schooling that you just wash down the drain.
Right, just took food out your family mouth for $10. That's just greed.
$10. And my father was a pharmacist, so this really kind of hit home for me, because I was like, this man, 34 years old. Now he sold 125 COVID-19 vaccination cards. 125. Don't seem like many, but he sold them to 11 different buyers, okay, across the U.S. And they are actually getting ready to indict him. And this is the thing. His biggest sale, now listen to this, his biggest sale was $176.70. Right? A buyer who paid for 17 cards.
That's crazy. And another crazy part, Gene, is that people would rather they'd rather buy the cards for $10 than get the shot for free.
You can get the free shot and get your free card, but you'd rather pay $10 and not get the shot. Okay. So he's of course, his attorney is pleading not guilty. And he's out on bail, $4,500 bail. And he's facing 10 years that he's being charged 12 counts. 12 counts of stealing from the federal government, right? He's facing 10 years per count.
10 years per count.
For $10. And putting our lives at risk. Now, that's just one person. How many other people are out here doing the same thing?
Right.
You know, it's you know, I really think that they should have put some type, just like they have that strip on money, where they can tell whether it's real or fake. They should have that on those cards.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Each one should have
They could have put a watermark on them. They do it with checks.
Right.
They should have done that. That should have been something that should not have been able to be counterfeited. Anytime you tell me you won't put out the Harriet Tubman $20 bill because you're afraid it's going to be counterfeited, but you'll put my life at risk for $10 for a card that can be copied on a Xerox machine.
You know, Gina, that's a good point. I'm gonna get in here real quick before I go to Dr. Ted, because we can't let Cece follow with that, because Lord knows. You know what I mean? She got my corona is, oh my God. We be killing ourselves. But anyhow, you know what, Doc? I'm gonna tell you about the streets. I'm gonna tell you about the streets. How Gina's passionate about that. That was a, you know, as usual, right, Cece? She come up with something you never thought she would do. Doc, she doesn't follow any pattern at all. I don't know where Gina gets these topics from or how she gets them, but she never fails to never cease to amaze us with it. Before I get to Doc and his spin on it, you know what Dr. Ted and I just now heard? Cha-ching. If you got a damn pharmacist that's dumb doing that for $10 and he can charge all the drugs, me and Dr. Ted would have, oh my God. We'd have them opiates. Man, we'd have them Quindines and what's that new pills they taking there? Molly's, Percocets. We said Molly's, Percocets. Boy, he go doing that for $10. You know what I tell him when we say Doc, we would come over there to him with no reason and throw $1,000 on the counter and tell him, boy, this for a night out. We don't want nothing. That's how the gangsters did back in the days, the mafia. He would be hooked on us. He would have no choice but to give us every drug in that joint. Gina, that was a good point. He did this for $10. His biggest sale was $170. But a pharmacist might have as much school time, Doc, as you. To be a pharmacist, you in school a long time.
Long time.
That's a medical degree. You know what I mean? Who does that? All right, Doc, your comment?
I mean, I think it's so unfortunate, you know, for somebody to minimize other people's lives. See, to me, when you hurt your family, but when you getting high yourself, that's you right now. That's you. When you do something like this is focusing on other people being unprotected, and it's almost like you doing it in a way like you could care less. The bid price that he was only charging $10 showed that he didn't take none of this shit.
Right.
I would have respected more if he said it was $1,000 a ticket. Because see, that would have made somebody choose, well, do I really want to pay a G or do I want to go ahead and get the free? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, you know, that and see, because to me, the streets have looked at things different. Just like when the World War II happened, you know, they actually went to the mob. I'm talking about the government. And they talked about them trying to watch how the shores were and think different things that was happening at the where the ships were coming in. You know what I'm saying? You know, definitely. Just like when we had the riot here, you know, in Baltimore years ago, and they asked for Lil Melvin to have words, you know what I'm saying? So the thing is that we may tote that gun. We may have drugs in our hand and different things, but we draw a line with certain things, you know what I'm saying? And so the streets are not even supposed to be okay with certain things that go on. And so, you know, with a situation like this is different than a person just buying a package of Molly's or trying to fill out a fake prescription to get Percocets. This is something that your grandmother may not live longer because somebody exposed them because they're taking the card for a joke. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I think that, you know, that is so unfortunate to even hear, you know, saying something like that. But it just also just kind of proves that you're going to see some high highs and some low lows during our adversities that we're going through. See, the good times never show you what you made of. It's the hard times that show you what you really made of. And so this is just showing that you're going to have some people that are willing to give out free food during this time period to try to help people. And then you also going to have some people that could care less, and I'm going to take advantage of everybody that I possibly can.
Wow.
Absolutely.
CC, bring us home on this topic.
Okay, first let me start with the lady that ripped the mask off the teacher's face. You know, God ain't finished with me yet. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because if you choose that you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine. That's fine. Make your own choices for your own life. But don't make no choices for me. And please, by all means, don't put your hands on me. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, my husband always say I'm dainty and all of that, but don't forget that I come from Norfolk Fulton. So I don't know what's going on down there in Texas. You know, Texas and Florida have been a problem throughout this whole entire pandemic. I wouldn't want to be there for nothing in the world, but you know, I admire teachers and hats off. First of all, I never had the patience. I could never be an educator because I don't have the patience for other people's children with foolishness. And second, just all the abuse that teachers have to endure just to fight the good fight. You know what I'm saying? They already got their education. They already got their degree. They're out there trying to help your child to elevate themselves and become a better person and make something out of their life. And it's one of the most thankless jobs that I can think of. So to all the educators out there, hats off to you. I first wanted to say that. And with this other situation, there's nothing I can even say about that one, Gina, because some things just don't you can't make sense out of something that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a pharmacist is some low-level, underpaid individual. You got a good job that you worked hard for to make decent money, probably to provide for a family, and you just decided to throw it all away. As Maurice said, you decided to burn your boat for $10. You know, something about, first of all, I hope that they give him a psychiatric evaluation because something is really seriously wrong with that train of thought. So that's all I can say about
a psychiatric evaluation,
no,
but I know one thing
he was going to get caught.
Right, right.
And you can't even say for the price of $10, you can't even say he did it for the money. You know what I'm saying? So what is the reason? What made you wake up one day and say, you know what, this $10 is worth it? Come on now.
Hey, y'all, I don't condone violence at all. Make sure that we know this show, Simply Us, does not condone violence. Once again, Simply Us does not condone violence. But when they get over there, y'all, when they hit them chairs and stuff, do me a favor, please. Whip that ass. Whip that ass, man. Need that ass whipped.
I don't know if they're gonna be whipping it.
Right now, look at you. Now look at you. You convict 653-470. That now look at you. Went from a pharmacist to orange jumpsuit.
There you go.
He gonna really want a social distance when he get in there.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And here's the catch. That's what people don't know. A whole lot of times when people talk about he robbed the bank or he did that, you know what? They used to call them, Dr. Ted, we used to call it Fed stuff at FDI insured or something like that because they called him a victimless crime.
Right.
You know what I mean? You go in the bank, you ain't got no gun, you got a piece of paper, you tell a lady, give me the money and stuff like that. I don't know because I ain't never robbed a bank. I robbed some shit in there, don't get me wrong, but I ain't never robbed no bank. I got average I ain't real talk. There's a lot of stuff I ain't never did. I ain't never hopped the bus. I ain't never snatched a pocketbook. I ain't never broken nobody's house. I done been in stolen cars, but I ain't never stole a car. There's some stuff that I didn't do because the consequence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody catch you stealing their car. Somebody, you snatch my mother pocketbook and don't know you snatched Black Purdy mother pocketbook. You see what I'm saying? Some stuff you don't do, you put out the hallway. Man, hey, you know what I mean? The boy took my mother's pocketbook, snapped down on Emerson Avenue, right across from the underground where Harley's was. Gina knows it. Doc knows Harley. Y'all call it Pocket Picos now, CC.
Right.
But when you walk up there, back in the day, it wasn't no 100 Chinese joints. Lafayette Bridge at the bottom was a Chinese joint. Emerson Avenue, you went to Shabazz or the Chinese joint. It wasn't no 1,000 Chinese joints like it is. Poplar Grove and Emerson was a Chinese joint. They ain't on every corner. You used to have to go somewhere to get that. And my mother got the Chinese food. Naturally, she got the gun. She always had a gun. But not thinking the gun was in her pocketbook. So she's walking up the street, stopping by, going to grab a sub at Harley's on the way going up. Got a car. But back in the day, people just used to walk.
Right.
They just used to walk. So the boys snatched my mother's pocketbook. And usually she got that little 22 in her bosom. But this time, the money was in her bosom, the gun was in there. Anyhow, they threw it over the bridge. If y'all think back about it, Doc, how you used to catch some steps went down the bridge next to Pocket Pico. There was a train tracks down there. So he snatched the pocketbook, threw it over the bridge, and ran and went down the steps. My mother said, yeah, the boy took my pocket, threw my over there. You know what I mean? But and my brother Purcell was just listening. Black Purdy said, Mommy, you okay? Okay. And then he said, I'm going out for a minute. She said, baby, don't go out. She said, baby, I really got something to do. All Purdy got to do is go down there on Emerson Avenue, Ted. You know that, and ask around who doing that. Right. That's a pattern. That's a telltale. That's a move. When he snatched it and threw it over there, that means that's his pattern. That's his move. What's the thing I'm thinking about? His
signature move.
Yeah, his signature move. That's his MO. So he did that. And Purdy found out who he was. Purdy them trying to run around with them boys, Cleophas. You know what I mean? Vito and them. You get what I'm saying? Brother John Saeed. So they found out who it was. And politely was talking to him. They didn't even know what it was. They walked with him. Yeah, Jack, you know what I mean? They wait till they got there. You threw the pocketbook over the bridge. So they picked him up and threw him over the bridge. You feel me? You wouldn't snatch somebody's pocketbook. It got you thrown over the bridge. You get what I'm saying? With Poplar Grove, y'all remember Wells? They was famous for throwing you over that bridge. Remember? I'm saying, what I'm saying to y'all is, hey, check this out. Victimless crimes is bad enough. And when you do a crime on a person,
right?
Y'all run around robbing these old people, and then after that you got hit them. Come on, man. Y'all doing stuff for the consequence, man. Consequence may not be what you're looking for.
Oh yeah,
may not be what you're looking for. Some of this is crazy. This man over here, it was making $10. He don't know. To us, are you hustling, doing some cars? To Gina and CC, you playing Russian roulette with people's lives.
Right.
All he's thinking is because in some clubs you can't get in the club unless you got a card.
Right.
There's some diamonds you can't eat unless you can show the card. Some of the people buying the card just trading. They just buying it like it's an ID. Like, you know what I mean? Let me hold your ID so I can get in the nightclub. That's what they doing. But not to Gina. You know what I mean? Not to me, not to Doc, not to CC. You playing Russian roulette with our lives. It's a bigger picture right there. This ain't no victimless crime, Mr. Pharmacist, that you think you're making $10 off. It's not a victimless crime. You jeopardizing some lives here. And like Gina said, I'm gonna give you 12 counts per charge. You know what I mean? You would end up with 2,000 years about this.
Right, they gonna throw the book at you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, y'all, please, let me bring this home. Please think about what you're doing. They're gonna make an example
out of him.
Yeah. Oh, he's a dead man. He's a dead man.
Well, I don't feel sorry for him, to be honest.
Me either. Get what he deserves. Asking you shall receive.
I mean, he might as well have held a gun up to all of our heads. when you think about
Right.
Well, see, I'm gonna tell you what angers me about that. Like, see, my children, you know what I'm saying, they all vaccinated except for my 9-year-old. He wasn't old enough to get it. And so to me, you know what I'm saying, you know, to have that exposure, I try to do everything that I can, but he's busy. He's constantly, it's hard for him to keep the mask on all the time. And so, you know, I that's what I get concerned about. So for somebody to take it so lightly, it makes me want to put my hands on you. Because
it
that could
does.
mean, you know, that could mean something could happen to my child.
It
You know what I'm
does.
saying? And so,
It
you know
really
me,
does.
and I get it that y'all love Trump, y'all love Trump so much that you want to just show that we gonna rebel. We not gonna do nothing by it and say we gonna keep saying it's fake news. We even though all of my family members are dying, it's fake news. And you know what I'm saying? Even though all of these now it's younger people that's dying. Oh, it's all fake news. You know, I'm just going. You know what? So my son don't have nothing to do with this political bull crap.
Right.
My son, I need for my son to live like I did.
Right.
And like my father did. We made mistakes. We did some wrong. But you know what? We came home with black eyes, but we still alive. We came home. We may have made a mistake in school. We got detention. But we still alive. You know what I'm saying? And now I got somebody that's freaking playing with my child's life.
There you go. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
You always touch on some points and stuff when you start getting these conversations going on. That's why we're here. That's why we call ourselves Simply Us. We just some average people with some opinions, some good opinions. We got adversity all over here. We have Gina as a historian, CC current events. We got Dr. Ted, and you got me, regular West Baltimore cat. They're just talking. But you pick what person you want to follow and try to get something out of any of us. Pray, wishingly, you get something out of all of us. If you out there, you want an opinion, we giving you opinion from all four corners. I like the way this thing gives you all four corners. We got to put that in our name too. Four corners. We got four opinions about four different things. Real talk. Real talk. We got, you know, different diversity that you're doing. Dr. Ted was serious when he just said that. You know what I mean? You playing with his son. Gina said that she didn't go to the cookout twice because it was too many in her family who wasn't vaccinated. At that time, Gina, I started listening to find out who wasn't vaccinated in my family. And I found 2 or 3 in my family is not vaccinated. Not beaten, abused, not raped, molested, abandoned, not no idiots. Got money, got gold chains, living the life out there doing their thing. Shout out to the person that works for me, Kevin, who's one of my moon bounce helpers. Kevin works at Burger King, and let me give y'all this, in case you don't know. Drum roll, please. One more. Drum roll, please. You now can get a vaccination at any Burger King. Shout out, Mr. Burger King. When I dropped him off the other day at the job, the people was out there with a tent. You know what I thought? You know how they always give away the free cell phones? With the free, that's what I thought it was. I said, boy, they give away the phone. Said, no, that's vaccination. I said, what you mean? He said, yeah, you can get a vac. What you mean? He said, at the Burger King, in front of all the Burger Kings now, is somebody out there giving out, walk up, all you need is ID vaccination. I said,
no excuse.
No excuse.
No excuse. And for these young people who that's all they eat is burgers and fries anyway, right there.
You walk past the vaccination, went and got the number 4 special and supersized it, and your dumb ass went and got back in the car, walked right by the vaccination again. That's crazy, y'all. Everybody out here trying to make a difference. They have put together the funds for you to go to Burger King and get a vaccine. Have it your way. Have it your way. And you still didn't get it done. Gina Lee is worried about this. She said that as people in her family didn't get vaccinated. I said, yeah, I'm right. You know what I mean? I said, you know, maybe the dope fiends have said no, Maurice. Intelligent, educated, prominent, good doing people. I have people in my family, not in my immediate family, but still my family, that I found out in idle conversation is not vaccinated. Now we had a like reunion thing over the house the other day. I accompanied them from out of town. Linda, shout out to cousin Niecy and Ursa and them. Well, all us, this is an old folks thing, right? See, this is the elderly. Man, all us got shots. You know, everybody got some age. If you old and you ain't getting no shot, then you really a damn fool.
Right.
Then you really a damn fool because we all got something wrong with us. Everybody got high blood pressure or something. You know
and
what
just,
I mean?
And just the mere fact of aging. You know what I'm saying? As you age, I often tell people that as you age, things don't work as efficiently as they did when you were young. You know, it's like you got the same body, the same heart, these same lungs, all this stuff. You don't get new ones as you get older. It's the same one you had since the day you was born. So as wear and tear gets on your organs, they just don't work as efficiently as they did when you were young.
I was struck in my eye with a rock when I was a kid at 9 or 10 years old. And it wasn't a big deal then. You know what I mean? I just wore glasses and did this. You know, I had a cataract on my eye, what have you. And the doctor said when you get up at the age, it's going to start affecting you more because y'all may or may not know this. Your body is a machine. That's why you hurt one arm, you know what I mean? Houston, shout out to Houston. Houston broke his arm on the swing, on the monkey bowl. Gina remember them on one of the monkey bowls at 145. So he learned to pitch with his left hand. You work one thing, God give you this machine, your body, you will actually start using the other one. If you hurt your leg, you're with a limp. You're not limping because it's cool. Your body is actually putting the weight on the stronger leg. It gives up. Same way with my eye. What happened was, when you're young, it didn't matter, stuff like that. But after 40, 50 years drugging and not getting any sleep and ripping and running and drinking and all that kind of stuff, your eye gets weak. So you see better out of one eye than the other. You don't even know it. But it's like Cece said, it's progression. It's because of age. You feel me? It's because of age, and that's what you do. So a lot of you out there, I'm saying that your body does all these kind of things, but a lot of your minds aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Getting older, you ain't getting no smarter.
Right.
You ain't making no better decisions when you get older. You're doing dumber shit now than you was at first. Shit now, as you were doing at first. You're not getting smart as you're getting older. A lot of y'all don't have common sense. This man had a great pharmacy. Might have had a PhD. Might have had a whole bunch of masters and stuff like that. But he didn't even have common sense. Didn't even have common sense. Ted, $10 on eBay, Gina, on eBay. How would you think you're not gonna get caught? You know, they got people who just, you know, when all y'all posting pictures of yourself on Instagram and posting pictures of yourself on Facebook with the gun over there and dope coke and ready, here go this money, I'm getting this money. You don't think the police watch Instagram?
Right.
You don't think you got a person over there with a PhD like Dr. Ted, whose job it is to just keep looking at your Facebook page?
I was about to say the police have a specific unit that's all that they do is monitor social media.
Yeah. And every time my wife watched them court shows. I can't stand them. But they get over there, and say, I ain't say that, they lying, they ain't lying. Well, you know what the girl say? Here's this text message he sent me, Judge Judy. And then they tell her, you ain't no good, I'm hit you in the mouth, I broke in your house, you bum bitch whore. I ain't saying all of it, she saved it all.
Right.
All up there saying all that, then think that it ain't gonna find you. And I'll give you one last thing.
Judge Million on the People's Court say it, forget it, write it, regret it.
Yeah. Damn. One more time, see.
Say it, forget it, write it, regret it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey,
that's right.
Before we go to Dr. Ted and his topic, let me close this out. I sit back and think about this now. This is funny. People go off and make these bad decisions, and in their mind, there's no consequence to it. But some of these decisions that y'all making, did you hear what Dr. Ted said? He was passionate about you messing around playing games with a card you sell it for $10 that you may kill his child. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to feel this when I say water comes in my heart, probably come out my eyes, because y'all know God is still melting my heart. Don't find out about Dr. Ted. The crazy Ted is still here about his child. Don't find out the hard way about Dr. Sutton. The crazy Ted is still sitting right there on that screen about his child. Don't find out the hard way about West Baltimore Party Marty, because I'm trying to be something in my life and I'm doing podcasts and I'm working hard and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm still West Baltimore Party Marty. Don't find out the hard way about me. I want to bring this home. Everything I do hard. I do hard. It's a lot of people. Everything we do hard. Gina just now finished saying something about herself. I've been knowing Gina. I don't know Gina so much from running the streets, man. I know she was always tough and knew everybody. But you hear Gina tell her story. She said when everybody was out there talking about being women that was running around with guys and doing all this wrong stuff, she said that was me too. Yeah. Thank God I turned the corner. I didn't know that side of Gina. I didn't know it. She knows it. So because there wasn't no social media for me to find out, I'd have found out if all that stuff was going on then. But in life, you don't know people who do things hard. I'm going to say this to the panel. I'm going to say this to the world. I'm going to say this to my wife. I'm going to tell you about being married right now. I'm married hard. I'm married hard. I love my wife. Not just because she's my wife. I love the whole concept. First of all, I'm glad that my wife is her. That's the most important thing. She's a perfect wife for me. But I've never been married, and I'm hard on this being married thing. I'm married. I got an awesome wife. But when I came along, I always had who I live with. Then I had my girlfriend, you know what I mean, my side piece. And then because I was a drug dealer, Ted, you know, I hit everything I could all day, every day. So I averaged 3 hits a day. You got to hit your girl when you come home to go to sleep. You can hit your girlfriend every time you go out because you sneak over there every day. And then you run into something. But I do the exact same thing with my wife. I'm with my wife. I be a hard husband when I'm in the house. When I leave later on, I make my wife my side piece. We go out over there to the live casino and we spend the night. And for that one little night that we spend the night, I'm Samuel Fair, Denzel Washington, Boo Boo Kitty, swinging on the chandelier. We do all that same nasty stuff that you do with your side piece. And for that one last time that you run into somebody on the side, that you pick somebody up, I pick up my wife all the time by telling her that I love her. She stands in the door every night that I leave out to watch me leave. Her and the dog are at the door every morning when I come home. And when I leave every day, when I leave out, what do when I pull off, CC?
Beep the horn. Beep
the horn to let them know and recognize that I see what you're doing. Y'all, this ain't no game. Stop playing with this thing y'all call life. Stop playing with this thing. Stop selling $10 goddamn cards. Stop selling $10 cards, y'all. Stop running around banging them guns at people's kids and stuff like that and think that you're going to take a life and it's just because you and him beefing, you showing you stuff. Dr. Ted got a whole family that he's trying to raise. Don't find out the hard way about Dr. Ted. My wife is Dania, an engineer. She is straight off Fulton Avenue. And her and her kids were raised on Park Heights. Don't find out about Gina Lee who run around with some car keys that y'all think is to get in her car. Them car keys is to bust your damn head. She done had that bunch of keys all her life since she was 15. They to bust your head. Please, y'all, please, I beg of you. I beg of you to take this thing called life seriously. I beg of you. Moving right along, y'all. Thanks for letting me share. Hey, Doc, we haven't seen you in a minute, Jack. I know you got something good for us, man. Give us a topic, Doc, and just tell us what's going on with you.
I'm going to tell you, man, this is such a blessing to even be on here, be back and everything. And y'all always change my subject. You know, I mean, when I listen to y'all, my subject always changes. But it's in a good way, because I wanted to talk about Afghanistan. I wanted to talk about Haiti and what's going on. You know, I wanted to talk about, you know, and then I really wanted to just talk about how just the experience of going to Hawaii, and I wasn't just on the beach, and I wasn't just, just touring and things, man. I went in the hood, and I went in the projects, and I wanted to talk to the people who are natives who really not living so well there. And I mean, and they are suffering. And it's hard for them to even find jobs. And you got the homeless problem over there. See, that's the part that most people don't see. And I'm glad it's privileged to talk with, some people and different things. So I talked to some homeless people. I talked to some people of one of the largest gangs in Hawaii, all native. I talked to some people in the prison. I did a pretty much a community march where a young man was had his life taken by the police, and he was a man of color. He was from South Africa, and different things like that, man. But when you talk about, man, my family, man, I'm proud to be a part of this, and to know another brother, man, that feels this strongly about family. I mean, it's good. And even when I was hearing you talk about your wife, man, it's good to see you smile, brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is your smile is contagious. I don't need a lot of givers, and that's who you are. And sometimes when you're a giver, you don't always get, how you give. You know what I'm saying? But the mere fact that people have had the opportunity to meet somebody that's a giver, that might be the only time they get that. And so that's really, a blessing, man. And just to say to you, man, don't change that, man. Don't stop being who you are, because you know what makes this world special and different, and everybody on this panel, and I feel, that way. Because as you was talking about, your wife, it made me think about something I was telling a young cat, man, that I was trying to talk off the ledge. He was talking about doing something crazy, but he was like, yeah, but I want you to meet, saying my girl now. He was like, man, she can, she can twerk. And he was talking about how she can twerk, and everything. And I said, well, brother, that's an additive. That might be good. And I said, and this is what I hit him with. And I said, but is she the one that will wipe that slobber off your face if you had a stroke?
Wow.
I said, she the one that would wipe your behind if you had a heart attack or a seizure. You're not able to move your body, brother.
Right.
And I said, because I said, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with twerking in your room. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to get everything you can get. And I'm like, but the character, you know what I'm saying, of when that person is down, when you not able to do, when you're not the one with the big fat knot of money and you looking tall and strong, to me, that's where the character meets the role. And I said, you do, and I told him, and I used to tell my guys in my crew, you do two things with women, one or the other. And I said, you either spending time or you killing time. And you need to know the difference.
Wow.
You need to know who you spending time with and who you killing time with. That one that's like wifey, that's an investment. So you should trip if she want cheese on the sandwich that you paying for that. You shouldn't trip if you buying dinner this night because she got you on another night. And the one that's just there for the good times and let the good times roll, yeah, you can kill time, but know what you're doing and know what you in. And so, to me, that it's good to hear that, as far as with that, because, when I had my family on that flight, and it was 9.5 hour flight, I was just saying, I said a prayer because I was thinking of all the mountains I had to go over and all of that sea. And I'm depending on a piece of machinery that was built
to the
lowest bidder for that contract. And I was just saying, Lord, this is everything I am on this plane. This is why I fight for injustice. This is why I live. And you know, it was a blessing to make the round trip. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I was just saying it's so significant to have that. And then, you know what, but I started thinking to be blessed. I said there's so many people that don't have this, that don't have something to fight for, that don't have something to live for. You know, and no matter what it is, you see people, you know what I'm saying, they thinking they living, but really some of them just haven't died yet.
Wow.
Living. So, you know, I feel honored and blessed to be a person that was given a second chance at life to want to make a difference for the better. You know? And so, you know, I just, like I said, y'all done changed my topic so many times. I come I'm thinking about, I'm going to talk about this and then more, but once, if y'all got me last, y'all done changed it. And after I hear all of y'all, I'm on a whole nother subject.
Hey, you know,
and
Doc,
but, like, this is what was important for me to say. You know, this was significant for me to say. You know, as far as with that, we really, you know what I'm saying, it's good to be able to have something to love, to have something to care about. And I found that that's why it's easier for people to do so much crazy stuff, because they give it to themselves. They don't have something to really, you know, show them, you know, some love and different things like that. And so sometimes it may have to come from us.
You know, that being said, I sit back and think of this. Before I even say this, if it comes out wrong, I'm gonna apologize to Gina Lee now before it comes out, because I think back about, like Doc was talking, Gina Lee said something to myself. Gina Lee lost her soulmate that God gave her for life. She didn't meet him till later in life, and she's a wonderful individual. I know this man had to feel like he hit the lottery.
Yeah,
you don't like people, because she feels like she hit the lottery with this man. And then he got sickly and he passed. And instead of Gina being mad at God, all she talked about was how God loaned him to her.
Yes.
She said, I wish I'd have had forever. He was my forever. And then now he's gone and stuff like that. But instead, you never know when that was probably such a good man that God just threw Gina in there for a treat for him.
Come on now.
Before I take you home with me, you good man, I want you to see what it's like to have somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? When he probably said to Gina, you know what I mean? I know before you leave this world, your bodily, your physical leaves this earth, I'm going to show you a real man. And I said, Gina, was he just wealthy? He said, yeah, he's the most wealthy person I know. It made me laugh. He was so much fun. All I like to do was read. All he liked to do was listen. He was a great listener. You know what I mean? You never know what he told you. I'm 64 and my wife is 46. If somebody told me that I'd be dating my wife, more or less married to my wife 10 years ago, I'll still be on the floor laughing. My kids' age, why? Then eventually, after we got there, I married my wife actually because somebody made a joke one day. It doesn't matter who it was. It didn't mean nothing. Boy, you got it good, got that young. She was in her 30s then. But I wanted to make sure that she and everybody understood. This ain't nothing that I'm doing. I ain't playing with this.
Come on,
once you marry him, you know what I mean, Doc? They know you better not play no game.
Yeah,
you better not call it nothing slick out your mouth. Nah, she my wife. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. This my wife. I ain't playing with you. So once you marry him, but I didn't know what marriage did to me. Marriage put me in a whole different plateau with my wife. It ain't just a piece of paper. That's some bullshit. It's not just a piece of paper unless you just a piece of paper type guy. So I'll bring this back before we go to CC point. What if you're the Gina? What if you're the Gina? What if you're in a good financial situation? What if you work till you retire? What if you're very attractive? What if you're healthy? What if you're educated? What if you're fun? You got everything like that, and you really got what you want right here, and then you look up one day it's gone. And then Gina, I don't even know if Gina in her mind, I hate to say it, think that she could ever get another one of them. I don't even know if she even know how to look for another one of them. Now, I ain't gonna Cece, I ain't gonna be no virgin if you pass. I ain't gonna never look at no girl or stuff like that. But you met my last wife. You met my last wife. I ain't gonna marry nobody else because I can't follow that act. Not so much because she's so great, but she's so great for me.
Right.
So for all y'all out there talking about what Ted talking about, he ain't playing about his family. When Gina talk about, I'm so thankful to have time with somebody. When Cece says how happy she is, when I tell you, don't find out the hard way about Party Marty, y'all, I'm gonna bring this home. This is not a game, y'all. This is your life. What are you doing? You're not getting vaccinated. You snatching masks off teachers. You storming the Capitol. What the hell are y'all doing, man? What are you doing? What are you doing? You telling your children they can go out dressed like hookers and stuff like that? Whip their ass. Stop worrying about being a friend and a pal. Be their parent. What are you doing?
That's right.
When you sit back, every other word come out of your mouth and you think that's slick. That's not even English. What are you doing? Come on now. You need to take this thing seriously. If not, start now. Right. Don't worry about all the stuff you did in the past. Start getting it right now. You want to ask God, you want to pray to God for a job, pray to God for a job. But your dumb ass need to get the Sunday Sun classified ass and help God find you a job.
Amen.
The last thing I say out there, the ex-dope fiend jailbird thug, I thought that my life, I was hip and cool when I was on them corners and I was West Baltimore Party, flipping that money jack, banging them guns, dressing. I had the crescent and the maximum. I was doing all that, and y'all was talking about, boy, that chump Party got it going on. Party got it going on. Look at me now. You thought Dr. Ted was crazy Ted to hit it in? Look at me now. You think that my wife Cece was pretty at first? Look how pretty she is now. If you look back at Gina Lee and you don't notice that she spends all day long trying to find a topic to educate your dumb ass. Look at her now. She is now doing the best thing that she's ever wanted to do in life. She's a history teacher. She comes from a long line of educators. Y'all talk about educators. Here, y'all, is our history teacher. Hands up for our history teacher. Hands up for our history teacher. There she is. That's our history teacher. Our history teacher. Man, find out you want to be something. Be somebody important. Be yourself. Hey, Sugar Mama Jones, as you say your nickname or your thing. Sugar Mama posted, she reposted our show. And she said, even if you didn't watch the show, she punched and said, I got in there late. If you ain't watched the show last time, if you didn't watch the show, watch the last 4 minutes. So that's what I did, baby. I went over there and I turned on the last 4 minutes. You know what the last 4 minutes was? It was us talking about getting yourself together. Reinvent yourself. I reinvented myself. We own Party Marty's Moon Bouncers now. But I'm the same dope fiend, the same drug dealer that I always was. I got the same dope cokes and readies that I always had. But now they cotton candy, popcorn, and moon bouncers. I got the same runners that I always had. Now they my employees. You know what I mean? I got the same testers that I throw down the alley and watch y'all run around. Now they call, what kind of package is it, CC?
The silver package.
Silver package. You feel me? Reinvent yourself, y'all. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. Get out there, y'all. You need to change. Start changing names.
Yes.
All right, y'all, baby. Do the countdown. Get your sign ready, CC. 3, 2, 1. Run, tell that. Y'all tell everything else. Run, tell that. All right, hey, let me tell you something else out there in podcast land. We just extended our show another 20 minutes. If you don't want to watch it, you've already committed down an hour and a half. Thank you very much. If you're enjoying yourself, stay here with us. If not, we thank you and we had fun. But we own the rights to this podcast. So we're going some more talking in here. I'm enjoying myself. Run, tell that. Hey, CC, here we go, y'all. I don't know. She might be mad at Gina because Gina talked about the COVID variant.
No.
Get ready to cry now. Whoa. Let me get my darn handkerchief ready now. Here comes CC. Get the handkerchief ready now. Here comes Cece. I already got myself right. My wife knows some stuff.
I had two topics, but because you're being smart, I'm only going to tell you one now.
Okay. I apologize. Hey, everybody out there, watch this smooth segue. I apologize. Now, wait a minute. Out there to all you men, if you don't know this, this is my go-to line. Use this on your girl, your daughter, your teacher, anything. Watch this. Watch this. See, I like your hair. I like your hair. Oh my!
That is definitely his go-to. That's how. That's how you know when it got real.
Yeah. My wife, her hair and her nails mean everything to her. All right, CC, what's your topic today?
Okay, first of all, everybody that know Maurice, don't listen to him. He just tried to make me seem like I was shallow, like I'm some hair and nail girl. Come on, get out of my face. So don't listen to that. I mean, I like to look a little cute, but believe me, I'm way deeper than that. So
well, let me ask you one last question before you do that, since you segue in. What is the time frame on getting your hair and your nails done out there, Gina? What's the regular time frame? Cece, how often do you get your nails done?
I get my nails done.
Wait a minute, Gina, answer.
Nails are like every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. CC, now that just threw you under the bus. Nails are what with you, CC?
Every 2 weeks. Because when I come, Gina, this is why. When I come home, my husband wants me to this self-cleaning, self-sufficient, self-running house. See, before I get into my topic, just let me say this, ladies, that about these men who think that running a household is not a job. My husband, I love him dearly, but I think that sometimes he undervalues my contribution to this marriage because this house don't run itself. This food don't cook itself. And one thing about our family, if anybody know this family, they know I could be sitting here right now and somebody will call me and say, we want to have a cookout at your house. What time? Oh, at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock when? Today. You know what I'm saying? Today. You know what I'm saying? But I learned to stay ready.
And you'll have 10 pans of food ready for them when they come.
You already know, but they sure will not cook themselves. So I often had to remind my husband, who is the best husband in the world, don't get me wrong, attentive, a provider, all of this, but working outside of the home is not the only work that be done, because when he come home, my husband will work like a Hebrew slave in them streets. But when he come home, that man don't do nothing but mess up the house. If I clean the table off, I just walk behind him, picking up stuff all day long. And it irked my whole soul. I ain't going to tell y'all no lie. It irked my whole soul. But I can't complain. I can't complain because he is definitely the best husband in the world. So, I got to take the bitter with the sweet too. So sometimes I got to take one for the team. So
hey, listen, before you get your subject, I'll bring this. The reason why I came up with that is because it's so funny. My wife doesn't like to drive. And she can drive, man. My wife got a Range Rover, but she drives what we call the soccer mom van. She got a Honda Odyssey van. That's her go-to. But she always riding. But my wife, if we go anywhere, Ted, if we go anywhere, Gina, she literally never drives. Never.
That's right.
When I say never, the word is never. But to get her nails done, the dollar store or Walmart, she's AJ Foyt. I don't care what's going on. She'll drive to the hairdresser. She'll drive to the dollar store. She just go to the dollar store and walk around. It's
That's
a
right.
dollar store,
Because
baby.
anybody that know me know I always preach self-care. After I done put on 5 pop-up cookouts, ran the vacuum, put the trash out, cleaned up the backyard, cleaned off the table, did the laundry. Those are the things that I do for me. And I be daggone if anybody or anything gonna stop me. I'm gonna get right in that car and go out and do whatever it is that I want to do for Cece. Because I tell everybody, I ain't digging no ditches and I'm not doing any heavy lifting. But one thing about being the person that got to figure out things for everybody, it's mentally exhausting. People look and say, well, you ain't been doing nothing but sitting down watching TV all day. And of course, watching TV all day, somebody done called me, need some money. Somebody didn't pay for the trip. I got to call a travel agent. I got to run behind all these grown people and get them this date, certain date. And somebody come over here, want me to type something, run something. It's always something, and I welcome it with open arms because they my family. And just like we said, I'll do anything for my family. But at the same time, by 7 o'clock at night when I'm ready to watch the family feud, I don't want no more. Don't call me for nothing. Don't ask me to do nothing else. 7 o'clock shop is closed. And I tell Maurice that all the time. Let me know what you want for dinner. Let me know what you're going to take to work because after 7 o'clock, I ain't doing it. Just say no.
All right, baby.
That's why I always praising Cece that she can even find time to be our engineer with everything else she has to do.
And guess what, Gina? Guess what?
I got it.
Be quiet, Cookie. One of those people that's always, my husband always got something else. Just one more thing. They never think that thinking makes you tired. They never think that figuring out all these things make you tired. From the moment I get up at 6, and Maurice, he definitely gonna challenge you with it. From the time I get up in the morning, he start asking me questions. What we gonna do? Did you pay this? What's your plans for the day? This, that, and the third. So immediately, my mind gotta start going when I get up in the morning. So by 7 o'clock, done, son. But on that note, I ain't gonna tell y'all that's the Amazon. That's the Amazon man.
Amazon man, our boyfriend. Think I'm the dumbest person in the world. Don't nobody have that many packages come. This is ridiculous. You know what? I forbid you to buy anything else.
Just hush. But I'll move on to my topic before Maurice get back in front of the camera because he done hogged this show up. He know I got something I need to say too. And I'm glad Dr. Ted is back for this one. Because my topic for today, oh no, that's not it. That's Gina, my bad. This is my topic for today. 5 Miami Beach police officers are facing criminal charges.
What?
So, July 26th, in the lobby of the Royal Palm Hotel in South Beach, 5 Miami Beach police officers are facing criminal charges after being seen on body cam and the hotel footage kicking a handcuffed black man in a hotel lobby and tackling a person that was recording it and beating him up for recording it. But this is the thing. This is the kicker. Because you heard what I said. They were kicking the man in the head. The man that was recording it, they slammed him up against the pillar and they started to beat him up as he was recording it. And the charges that they were immediately suspended once the footage was shown, but they are charged with first-degree misdemeanor battery. This boy was laying on the ground. I watched the video, face down, handcuffed. They said that they chased him into the hotel. because he had previously gotten into an altercation with the officer about illegally parking a scooter. And he hit the officer, allegedly, and the officer's leg was injured and he had to go to the hospital. So they chased him into the lobby of the hotel, and as he was about to get on the elevator, they pulled guns out on him. He came out of the elevator with his arms in front of him and got down on his knees, and they handcuffed him. They were able to make the arrest without incident, and then they just decided that they was going to stomp him. They said they didn't say, I saw. They kicked him in the head. They stomped him, just dirt under their shoe. And then the young man who was well within his right, who had not committed a crime, was just videotaping the incident. One of the officers who was a black officer rammed him up into the pillar in the hotel, and 2 other officers came over there and helped him beat this guy up for no reason at all. And the Miami-Dade State's Attorney, Catherine Fernandez Rundle, said excessive force can never, ever, ever be an acceptable foundation for police officers in any community. Officers who forget that fact do a grave disservice to the people they have they're supposed to protect and serve. Now, come on, y'all. Come on now. So, I got to tell you that the officer who kicked the guy in his head, his name was Jose Perez. And another officer, I got to say these cowards by name, because if you in Miami-Dade, I want you to know that it was Sergeant Jose Perez, and the other officer, no relation's name was Kevin Perez. These are the 2 cowards that kicked the handcuffed young man in the head when they arrested him without incident. And let me see, what's the other officer? Robert Sabater is the Sabater, S-A-B-A-T-E-R. Let's make sure we get him right, because we want these cowards. We want to know exactly who they are. He was the one that tackled the young man that was filming as he was backing away. As he was backing away, they still wouldn't tackle him. And his 2 cowardly friends were David Rivers and Steven Serrano. They charged the young man. Now, they charged the young man who was filming with impeding, provoking, and harassing an officer. But the charges were dropped after the DA viewed the footage. And the FOP president said that they deserved their day in court. So I just found it amazing that the young man who was filming got more serious charges than the officers who kicked somebody in the head as they were handcuffed on the floor in a prone position.
Gina Lee said it a little while. Good topic. Gina Lee said that a little while ago when she said, when I came up, I was ripping and running the street and stuff like that, but there was no social media. Right. These cowards been doing all this stuff since the beginning of time, and we just ain't been filming it.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing this. We just haven't been filming it, but these cowards been doing this forever.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And that's
probably why they were so angry about it being filmed.
Exactly.
They're not used to that. They're not used to that.
Let me ask you a question, Dr. Ted. You said you were speaking to a big gang in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You said you was over there in New York. You've been talking to all these gang members and Crips, and we just know Crips, Bloods, them out there. You know what I mean? You talk about the Black Disciples, this. You talk about the Gangster Disciples. Let me ask you a question.
The Bloods, the Crips, they call the Gangster Disciples, and the Vice Lords. Those are 2 notorious gangs out of they were out of initially Chicago, but they're like everywhere now. They heavily in Tennessee and New York and different places, and the Latin Kings. I mean, it was powerful to have them all together, and everybody was just on some peace, and I respected that.
We called back in the day, the gangsters called Murder Incorporated. Those were the people that they started sending out to kill the Bugsy Siegels, the Pretty Boy Floyds. They killed the gangsters. You said some of the white guys that was with the black guys that they hired to kill. Who were the white guys that was over there? You said
they were called the Angels of Death, and that was a white gang that actually partnered with a black gang, the BGF, to kind of like go places where the BGF couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where they was white, and so they could get closer to other people and other things, and they wouldn't know that they was coming.
Well, let me ask you this, Doc. After being around, first of all, CC, excellent topic per usual. Everybody in the panel, excellent topics. Yeah, another great show. Long, but worth every bit of it, and we're not done yet. I just want to ask you something, Doc. Out of all the gangs that you've seen, all these hitters, all these killers, all these thugs, all the mafia stuff, have you ever seen a gang like the police? You ain't never seen a gang like the police. Y'all ever forget?
I've never seen nothing like this.
You ain't never, CC, like CC said, you ain't never seen a gang. And this ain't just, she ain't talking about a whole bunch of people, wonderful people, Caucasians. He said the guy, she made sure he called him out. This skunk went over there. He saw a black person filming it. He ran him into the pillow. You know what the pillow in a hotel is? It's that column.
Concrete.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It's concrete. That means he ran him into that. He might have irreparable damage. My wife right now had tore a rotator cuff, which didn't mean anything to me. She got a couple $. We was happy. I was happy she got the money. But I watched my wife sometime, Gina, Ted, and people out there in podcast land, when we first started living together. I watched her reach up. I watched her when she couldn't reach up in the cabinet to get a can of greens to cook dinner for her husband. So I mean, your body, what we talking about? You know what I mean? Your body, when you get up in the age, all them little teeny ailments come get you.
Mm-hmm. And they did, all of that, trying to attack the person that's recording and all of that. They do all. That's why, in this situation, you clearly knew that what you were doing was wrong. You knew that it was not justified. That's why you didn't want anybody to record it. Because if you're doing your job in a way that your job is supposed to be done, you should be able to be proud and stand on it. If you were supposed to arrest that man, if he committed a crime and he did whatever you said that he did, then if you did your job as an officer of the law in a manner that it was supposed to be done, then you wouldn't care who was recording it. You should be able to stand on it. It shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't worry you. You shouldn't even have noticed that somebody was recording.
The word is lawless.
Right.
Lawless. Absolutely. Lawless. Are you above the law, Gina?
No, I said it shouldn't matter. Just like you said, it shouldn't matter that somebody was recording.
Right.
The truth is the truth.
That's a great topic, y'all. But we're gonna jump off of it because we got 8 more minutes. And here's the topic I want to bring up. And we're gonna go around the table and talk about it. Dr. Ted touched on it when he started talking about things going on over there, Siberia, Liberia, all that. But I want to talk about Afghanistan. We want to talk about the fact that they're withdrawn and they left out of here. I'm gonna give you my point. Then we're gonna go around the panel because everybody has different opinions on this. Here's my thing. My opinion is this, and my wife was reading the article to me. She told me, I said, they've been over there fighting over there with that war in Afghanistan for about 10, 15 years. My wife said over 20 years.
Over 20.
Over a decade. Decades they've been over there. We've sent troops over there for over 20 years, teaching them, providing them billions of dollars, giving them guns, showing them how to fight, do all this kind of stuff. Michael Singletary made a good point. He said it's like 750,000. What do they call the
Afghans? Taliban.
What they call
Afghans?
And how many times? 350,000 In other words, like Gina, what was the figure, the percentage?
35,000 Taliban, and I think 750,000.
Okay, so that's 2-1. So in other words, twice as many. Do you know they spent 20 years over there teaching these cats how to defend themselves, helping them, showing them how to shoot, giving them money, doing all that? 20 years. And then when we left, do you know they gave siege to that White House in 4 days? 3 days they had fighting. On the 4th day, they were already in there. They said that they literally went over there, and when the Taliban attacked, they literally took their guns and put them down, and some just ran.
Some just ran.
Some just ran. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Now, people saying, oh, America, that was dirty what you did. That's my opinion. Jack, I can't fight for you if you can't fight for yourself. For 20 years, I've been teaching you, giving you $1 billion. You can't fight for yourself. Now, America, they want America to go back over there to protect them some more. Well, my cousin got killed over there. My nephew got killed over there. My uncle lost his leg over there. You talk about going over there to protect you. What about all Americans that's losing their lives and their families? And Jody and Bud and Sport Coach got their wife now because you're over there fighting these godforsaken wars. I'm just giving you my opinion. I mean, if you won't fight for yourself, I can't help you. My mother once told me something. You know what I mean? If you're a chump, Ted, Gina, Cece, here's what a chump should do. Close your eyes, duck your head, and start swinging. But fight back. If you ain't going to fight, they're going to do them. Close your eyes, duck your head, and just keep swinging. That's a form of fighting back. You feel me? But to just keep your hands down and he jab you in your eye, hit you in your stomach, jab you in your eye, hit you in your stomach, that ain't nothing. So my opinion, this whole thing, we need to go around because we got another 4 minutes to talk about this. My opinion is, man, we was over there for 20 years. I don't think we should give them 20 more minutes, more or less 20 more years. You know what I mean? You're going to go last on this, Dr. Ted, because it affects you more. CC, your opinion on this?
I agree. You know what? I already told you how I feel about it. You know, give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime. If we taught you to fish for 20 years and you ain't learned it by now, you ain't going to learn it. So now your new job is to learn to live under the rule of the Taliban. That's it.
Yeah. Gina Lee.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, I had the figures backwards. It's 75,000 Taliban and 300,000 Afghani soldiers. Okay. So I'm just saying, you know, it shouldn't be any question about whether they can take their country back.
Yeah,
there shouldn't be any question about that. You know, I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, and it's like they're almost abandoning also their women because the women feel like they're scared. They're, you know, afraid that they're going to go back to the old laws that were in place when the Taliban did have control of the country. You know, it's awful. They're afraid now. You know.
Just saying, so, Dr. Taylor, Dr. Ted, I had to give you that one time.
Well, you know
I
what?
called you Dr. Taylor so long, I had to give you one for the day.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine, because I thought we might have made one whole show without you calling me Dr. Taylor, but
that's why I did that one on purpose. I did that one on purpose. I had to get
there. That's cool, though. I mean, ain't no offense.
I did that one on purpose. Doc, I did that one on purpose. I had to welcome you back. That's why I said Dr. Ted.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about this, because I know you're passionate about this field.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's an unfortunate situation because I think about how the women who have to have now permission to go places by their husband, who the ones who can't, who they don't want to drive cars, the ones who have to keep their face. Like one woman, they saw her getting attacked because she didn't have her face wrapped up all the way. And so as much as they're saying that it's not going to be a major change, it's an unfortunate situation Now, one is I do feel America, they left out wrong, because when Trump was only saying to pull all of the military out to get support of this America First stuff. And so I think that we should have pulled out, but it should have been done totally different. I wouldn't have given them no specific date. I would have just started pulling out, and I would have started still leaving some people, there, but not the Americans, but we would have had them not knowing what we were going to do. Giving them a specific date made them amp up and ramp up what they were going to do to combat the moment that we left out. Number two is that the moment that the president ran and hid and jumped on a plane and left his own country,
right?
What men are going to fight, when they feel their own leader fights? The reason that Alexander the Great was called that is because he used to fight with his people.
Yeah.
The reason that Genghis Khan was able to get the people to roll with him is because he was leading the charge.
And with elephants.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, that was Hannibal. And Hannibal was in the front with those elephants, and being a strong leader really ramps up things. I used to say I could have enough heart for some of the weaker dudes in my crew, because they see me out there throwing hands right there next to them. And so, the thing is that when that happened, it could have been done different. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel that we shouldn't have been there that long. I thought it was so unfortunate for some children that joined the military thinking that they could see the world and that I could get education paid for because I'm living in a trailer park, or because my family don't have a lot of money to send me. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those politicians and some of them rich kids, you ain't see them in the military. And if they did go in, they went in at a higher level because they sent them to ROTC. You know what I'm saying? So to me, seeing, this the way it happened, I thought it was an unfortunate situation, but we did need to leave. But I felt that we did leave wrong.
And even the president. The president said that he knows that they overtook the Capitol quicker than anybody expected. But at the same time, he said that no matter what, this would have been chaotic no matter when it was done. He said that should have been an expectation. You knew this wasn't going to be some kumbaya, and they said, thank you for coming. See y'all the next time. I mean, it was going to be some wreck either way. But one thing that I do agree with that Dr. Ted said is with all of these situations, I always think that the United States shared too much information through the media. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we do, it's got to be on the news. We've known since last year that they were supposed to pull out in May. So if we turned on the TV and saw it, what's to stop the enemy from doing the same thing? Some of this stuff, we need to just keep it quiet and move in silence.
Hey, Gina, before you get your blueprint. Yeah. You know what I was saying? I want to make you laugh about this. I remember when they bombed them. Pentagon or something like that, whenever they had whatever they was doing and they were evacuating them, CNN was over there showing them they're evacuating off the south wing, they're running across their lawn, they're going down to the bomb shelter over there in H4 on 12th Street by the back entrance.
Right.
Yeah. All other countries got spies and double spies and counter. All these people that's learning that, all they need to do to find out about America is have cable. There you go. Don't bomb the Pentagon. They're running over there across the street.
Right.
That's it. Tune in to CNN. Live late.
All right, y'all. We've been out here 2 hours, y'all. Hands up for a great show, y'all.
I want to say
you want to finish it, Gina. Go.
A point that was made on the news the other day is the majority of the Afghan population wasn't even born when we went over there in the beginning.
That's 20 years ago.
Population is about, well, I'm saying, and they're about 30 years old.
Yeah.
The majority of the population. So they was like 9 or 10 years old. They don't know anything about having the Taliban control their country. That's why I think they're so unprepared. You know, I really think they thought this was never gonna end.
Well, we became a crutch.
Absolutely.
We became a crutch. See, the thing is, when I go all around the country and I'm doing community organizing and building and trying to do, I tell them I'm not going to fight the fight for you. I say, but I'm down for anybody that's down for a good fight. I'm coming in, you know what I'm saying? I'm parachuting in, and if y'all ready to throw down, I'm ready to throw down with you. But y'all not going to send me out here and run.
Right.
I can do that in Baltimore.
Right.
Hey, you know, people that won't do for themselves. And see, and that's where they messed up. They wanted to be in leadership. They, you know, I'm talking about America. They wanted to, you know, be in charge. They wanted to show we got this and this, that, and the third. And then later, when it was time to leave, you got a bunch of people that didn't believe in themselves. They didn't believe they could fight.
Right.
See, sometimes I've been able to beat people that probably could have beat me. They was bigger than me, stronger than me. But the one thing I had their mind because they was afraid of me. Yeah. And so I won the fight before I jumped in it. I had some dudes that was scared to fight back. And see, and that's what this is what we ran into, you know what I'm saying, with this foolishness.
My shout out to my kid's mother, Toot, and what she taught her daughter Tiffany. Tiffany probably an average fighter, but how would they know? Because she hit you first all the time. They taught us a lot of times, once Regina, right? The first punch is the only punch. You let yourself got hit. You over there talking, and what you gonna do? And somebody done plucked you. You wasn't ready. Tiffany, I'm gonna tell you, if Tiffany start talking to you and walking up on you, y'all think she getting close? She get ready to hit you. She's gonna hit you. My daughter hits you every time because she the oldest. I got a son, but he didn't grow up in a house with us. He a lot older than me. So Tiffany, back in the day, girls, like I'm saying, it's so different now. When you went home and got somebody, you went home and got whoever you got was the oldest, right, y'all? Right. If your sister was the oldest, you went home and got your sister. Your sister came around the corner to fight too. Everybody now, these chumps, I'm gonna get my brother, I'm gonna get my uncle. Back in the day, they went home and got whoever was the oldest. You turned that corner, Tiffany turned that corner, and you was fighting a guy. Tiffany was fighting that guy. Right. That's just how it went. That's how it went. So it was different. That subject right there, Dr. Ted can answer this. This is big to do. People, the point that Gina made is a heck of a point. These kids now talk about territory and what's what I always tell CCITs about. Park Heights is so funny because Park Heights, the 1,200 block of Woodland, fight the 1,400 block of Woodland. When I say they can't stand each other, they'll shoot at each other from 2 blocks away. And a lot of times they don't know when the beef starts. People run around talking about Old York and McKay. That's the longest running feud. That is like the Hatfields and the McCoys. And y'all want to know something? These cats that's out in Old York and McKay wasn't even born, y'all. Come on, they don't even know where that beef started. It started at Odell's. They don't have a clue when that beef started at Odell's. They losing their life about a building that's closed now. Mm-hmm. They don't have a clue. You know what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say. I just think about. I was working with some youth in Murphy Homes and Lexington Terrace projects, and they were still beefing. And I ended up making them meet on the bridge that goes from one side to the other, that goes over the highway to nowhere. And when I did, and I had 5 representatives from Murphy Homes and from Lexington Terrace. But when we talked, they kept going back of who got killed, but they got to a point where they couldn't remember where the beef started.
They don't have a clue.
They didn't know where it started. Because, see, they was talking about, well, my homeboy got killed. Be like, but yeah, but y'all killed our homeboy. Well, my uncle was in this. But then when we got past that, they could not remember where the beef started. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, look, y'all ain't start this, but y'all got the opportunity to finish it.
Okay. Man.
And I had them shake hands. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
One of them was Black Melvin. That was one of the cats, and the other one was Big Dominic. You know what I'm saying? And I had them come together and shake hands.
Hey, Ted, know them both. Know them both. Know them both. Hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be with that boy Doug and Sweepy and them. Yeah, hitters. What is that? Okay, y'all, let's start talking about this before we go out of here.
Gina.
CC now is coming up. She has a line of what it go? Tell us what you got going, CC.
That first of all, that was my order that I got from Gina Lee Paparazzi Jewelry. That's what I was showing her.
Okay, hands up.
Y'all get y'all some $5 bling from Gina Lee. Get some $5 bling. But
before you start, CC, before you start with yours, Gina Lee, tell us exactly about your product and how they can get it.
Well, I am an independent consultant for Paparazzi Jewelry. I've been doing this for about a little over 6 months. And I kind of just did it for the fun of it. You know, I mean, it's like a girl changing the world $5 at a time. So, you know, that's what I look at it like, you know, just entertainment at the present time. But it's a nice little income if you really want to, you know, really put forth the effort. The person who is my mentor, she actually bought a new car, you know. So there's my website going across the bottom, paparazziaccessories.com, 401930.
That's what's up. Good job, Gina Lee. And my wife loves it. She swears by it. She just now got order number 2. And when she comes in, she'll look at them and she'll order some more. She looks good at them. And plus, let me tell you something else. They're affordable. They're affordable. Yep. You will feel good when the mailman comes over and drops that off and makes that noise, and you answer that door, and you just spend $10, and you in the mirror for another half an hour putting on a good outfit and stuff like that. You'll feel good about yourself. Good job, Gina Paparazzi Jewelry, and all these businesses are running down here. Now, my wife, you'll start seeing her new banner. Tell us what you're doing, Miss CC.
I am starting a line of natural skincare products, and I did come up with a name for everybody that was watching the last time, and it is Nature's NAYTURES Secrets, spelled CEE Cracks. So Nature's Secrets, and I'm going to start with some body scrubs, lotions, what else did I say I was going to do? Body scrubs, lotions, body butters, and bath and massage oil. So everything is going to be natural and infused with different essential oils. So it's coming. That's what all the ringing of the doorbell is about, because they delivering all my supplies. That's why I said my husband, he a piece of work, but I can't say nothing because he support all my dreams. When I told him I wanted to do it, he said, order whatever you need right now. So everybody needs somebody in their corner like him. And I made sure I made him put his money where his mouth was too, Gina.
I didn't know that order whatever you make, Ted. Soap costs $1. She spent $700 to make soap. Wow. There's something wrong with that. That's some bad math, Gina. That's some bad math.
That's all my husband. Everything is about the number. Everything is about the bottom line is the numbers for him. But
hey, but
what inspired me to do it is that I'm finding I always had really sensitive skin. But the older I get, the more, I don't know if they put more harsh chemicals in a lot of this stuff, but everything that I buy over the counter breaks me out. So in the true fashion of all that we discuss on this show, if you want to, sometimes you have to be the change that you want to see. So I want to see some gentle, more natural stuff that won't break everybody out, myself included. So I said, why not make it?
If it is the B, let it
And
start
Party
with
Marty,
me.
you surely can't say anything because when you started your business, you had no idea whether it was going to be a success either. But look at you now.
That's so true. Thank you very much for that, Gina. That's the truth. My wife, I look at yourself, Gina, because you're educated, and I look at the doctor with his doctorate, degree. I sit back and say, and this is so amazing to me. My wife told me something that was real heavy, Gina, and I really didn't know this. Out there in podcast land, before we go, let me tell you something about the field that she's in, skincare, stuff like that. The reason why Cece got into it is because she was saying that, do you know you got regulations where you can put the bare minimum in? Meaning, if you have to put in 8% of HGSG, as long as you put in HGSG, you can advertise it as HGSG. But that's only got 8%. And Cece was saying all these things that, because my wife's a reader, she said when she reads it, she said the little bit that they put in there ain't enough to make a difference anyway. You advertise that product. The reason why my wife has invented her own line, which Gina, I did not know. I didn't mean it. I set myself up. She was saying, well, this ain't going to work because this don't have enough of this. I said, well, who's got it that's got the right amount in it? And she said, nobody don't have this. I said, well, why don't you find out who got it? She said, nobody has it. I left it at nobody has it. I didn't know nobody has it meant, okay, I'm going to go put it in there. And if I say that it's in there, it ain't going to be 8%. It may be 80%. Right. I ain't rich off of it. All I know is my face is still breaking out after I bought something that said it's going to stop my face from breaking out. So when she did that, it was hard on my pocket. I hope it works out because she's enjoying herself. But, y'all go out and, what I tell you, reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself. If you realize that your face is breaking out because whatever you buying doesn't have enough HGSC in it, then even find out who have enough HGSC or make your own. I'll leave you with this. I left you with this 10 times. This is an awesome.
I was about to say, you better leave us with it too. We over 2 hours.
I'm gonna tell y'all with this. It was once, and somebody in podcast land, Brian Samuels, BB, Tony, one of y'all, Sugar Mama, my niece. They had a thing out there when I was working years ago at Child Protective Service. It was a lady, was a nanny. And she was a nanny over the little white girl. She was watching the little Caucasian girl. She was, we call it a nanny or whatever the term is. What's the term? The term that they call Gina, the black person that's raising the back in the day.
Midwife.
Yeah, midwife, something like it. It's raising the kids. Back in the day, the Caucasian lady made the baby, but that slave right there, that black slave lady who was raised.
It was a mammy.
Mammy. That's what I look at, mammy. Harriet Tubman was a mammy. What she got? She went to sleep one time and they whipped her because she finally fell asleep. How old was she, Gina?
6.
6 years old and got a beating for falling asleep. She was somebody's mammy at 6. But anyhow, the lady said, the little girl said, oh, you know what? Well, black people did. She said, black people invented this. And black people invented that. She said, oh, well, I mean, okay. I know they invented a few things, but it's no problem. The mammy said, tomorrow, we won't use any hair products that are invented by a black person. Nothing that we use will be invented by a black person. Nothing. And we'll go from there. So what she did was, the next morning when she woke up, she went to get the little girl dressed. She said, hey, mommy, how you doing? We call her mammy. Hey, mammy, how you doing? Said, let's get ready for our little walk. She went to take a walk. And she put on her tennis shoes. She said, come on, let's go. She said, I got to put my shoestrings in. She said, well, you can't put shoestrings. She said, why I can't? She said, the shoestrings were invented by a black person. Then she said, okay, no problem. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead. She said, let's go. She said, you didn't brush my hair. She said, you can't brush your hair because the brush was invented by a black person. They walked down the street and all the cars had crashed. She said, what's going on? How come these cars are crashing? The red light was invented by Mr. Morgan. He's a black person. And they spent the whole day doing that. People, if you don't know how important you are with inventions, If you don't just know our net worth for what we're doing, if you're in a bunk bed, is invented by a black person. You know, Louis Pasteur is a black person. You know what I mean? If you don't know a lot of these things, my brother, shout out to my brother Walter Darnell Tates. If you have a landline in your house, any landline has that cord on there, that cord has a fire retardant on it. That fire retardant, Google it, was invented by Walter Darnell Tates, my big brother. Invented the fire retardant on every phone in the United States. Black people are really important inventors. My wife, you are now looking at an inventor. My wife is getting ready to become an inventor. She's going to invent something. When you listen to Gina up there talking about, she didn't go in your classroom as a historian. She didn't come in there as a teacher. But if she's in your home right now, a teacher, historian. Gina's parents are educators and teachers and stuff like that. Now, after all this time, here she is a teacher. Here she is a teacher. Y'all be something. I always wanted to be a speaker. I never finished school. I finished school. I didn't graduate from college with my degree. But now here I am, a motivational speaker. Come on, y'all. Be somebody important, everybody. Sugar Mama, as I told them, reinvent yourself. Be yourself. All right, y'all. Closing thoughts. Take us home, Gina. Closing thoughts.
Well, for all the fathers out there, be your daughter's first love. That's my saying. But you made mention of the person that God gave me, and
yes.
And I'll say this: I prayed every day that he wouldn't be in pain. I said, God, please take away his pain. So I say to everybody out in podcast land, be careful what you wish for, because God did take away his pain, but he took him away as well. So be careful what you wish for. Be real, be righteous, be relevant.
One more time, Gina. Say that again.
Be real, be righteous, and be relevant.
CC, you got to put that up too for the later shows. CC, Gina Lee, sorry for your loss. CC, closing thoughts.
And since Gina said to the fathers of the young ladies, I will also say to the mothers of the young men, you know, we gotta instill some things in our sons as well. You know, we have to let them know that it takes hard work and dedication to become a righteous man. And we have to let them know that nothing in life worth having you will get without working for it. So we have to instill some work ethic, and we also have to instill in them, teach your sons how to treat a lady. Date your son. The same way we want these fathers to date their daughters, date your son. Be his first love. Be one of the biggest problems. First of all, big shout out to my son who's turning 27 today, Lil Mike. Happy birthday,
Lil
baby.
Mike. Happy birthday, Lil Mike.
Happy birthday. Even though, just like we say, none of our kids have never watched the podcast, but maybe somebody will tell them that I said it. But anyway, you know, one of the biggest problems with my sons is that they try to, especially my oldest son, he tries to find a woman that in his eyes is as good as his mother, you know, because I showed him by example what a woman will do, a real woman will do for her family. And I set the bar high in his mind. So, you know, teach your sons that. Teach them how to court a lady. Teach them how to treat a lady. You know, teach them about life through the actions that you show. And as my husband always say, put some strong role models in their life, because in order to be a man, they must first see a man.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, everybody out there, y'all have allowed us in y'all home, whether you know or not, for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. If somebody told me to sit on a one-to-one for 2.5 hours of work, first of all, I hit him in the mouth, then quit, or maybe quit, then hit him in the mouth. One way or another, I ain't doing no 2.5 for nothing. Anything in life that you like, you'll be good at. Anything that you're good at, your life. Anywhere in the world, you're going to tell anybody on this panel that we've been doing this for 2.5 hours. We have really enjoyed this show.
We killed
really
Dr. Ted's phone.
Yeah, his phone died. Yeah. Hey, but listen, real talk, y'all. I just want y'all to know that this is just awesome that y'all allow us into your life, into your homes. You know what I mean, on your phones, into your job and stuff like that. Shout out to Coach Derek. Don't forget, we still will be putting more information up tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, Gina Lee on when she comes up with Did You Know? We'll be talking more. Cash App 410-800-6628 to donate to Cash Derek book bag giveaway. We already have, as usual, Cunningham. You know, she sent something immediately. I think she sent it before we even found out we had Cash App. It's something. I don't know if she's so loaded. She just got a really big heart. But y'all, real talk. Some shows and stuff like that don't take the direction that we thought we were going in. This show didn't take it. And I swear, I mean this. Gina and Cece, I think each and every one of these shows, they get better as we go along. I hope y'all feel the same way that we do. This was a very informative show, a very passionate show. We touched on a lot of topics. You know what I mean? We did a lot of good things today. We did some information. Hey, y'all, one last one. Hands up to a good show. For this hands up, we're giving to y'all out there in the listening audience. You know what I mean? That sit back and stayed in here with us as long as you can. We really appreciate y'all.
Prayers for Haiti.
Prayers for Haiti. Prayers for Haiti.
Prayers for Haiti. It's a sad show too today. Yeah, we found out a lot of people that are still going through a lot of stuff, man. Even Gina Lee. You know, Gina Lee looking smiling that she don't know. Gina Lee just told her story. We sit over there, I talk about my wife. My wife talks about me. Gina tells you our story. We say a lot of these things because we want to be a real show. We simply us. We just regular people showing y'all what goes on in the regular world. We ain't perfect. We ain't close to it. Gina Lee, when this is over, is going to cry. We just brought up a topic that is going to make her very, very sad. When it's over, she's going to sit up. Yeah, you don't know it yet.
You know what? You know what? I'm going to tell you why. Because I never questioned God. I never questioned God.
You better preach. You know that's right.
Never. Never questioned.
I'm going to tell you, when the last charge that I ever got, y'all, after getting locked up all these times, the last charge I ever got, I did not do it. You know how people tell you that they locked up for something that they did not do? And you look at them, yeah, that's what's up. The last time that I got locked up for child support. I was court-ordered child support. I had the pay stubs in my hand where they've been taking child support out of my check. They made a mistake. They came, knocked on the door, and locked me up for child support. They've been taking child support out for 7 years, and I had the check stubs to show them. I was literally locked up for child support, and I've been the best dad that I could possibly be. And I got over there, if anybody know them Tisdales and stuff up there from Easterwood, Tisdale's over there, Oscar Tisdale. I said, man, this don't make no sense. They locked up for something I'm doing. I didn't do. Why me? He let me finish. And after he finished, me and Gregory Hardy, John Hardy and Gregory Hardy, he said, when you finish party? Yeah. Oh, you sure you finished? You know? I said, man, that's mess. I'm locked up for something I didn't do. And he looked at me and he said, why not you? I'm saying, why? I mean, why not you? Why not you? Look how much stuff we done robbed, pillaged, upon. Look how many stuff we didn't got away with. Why you think that you're the only person that's locked up for something they didn't do? This is God telling you for the other 50 things that you did. Why not you? Why not you? You know what I mean? I question God. Gina says she never questioned God. I questioned him then. Why not you? It took me a minute, but that's what he did. He broke me down so I would never question him again. I don't question him anymore, though, Gina. I don't question him anymore. I don't question him anymore. I ended up on that thing called home monitor. Anybody know anything about that? Barometer, basketball, umbrella. When I got locked up, you went to jail or you see, go ahead. You say you went to jail or you stayed home. But they told me they let me out or they let me out on home monitor. Home monitor, what is that? Now they say you even got to pay for home monitor. Anyway, y'all,
Yeah.
But that's crazy. You know what I mean? Basketball, barometer, umbrella. Now these kids. Then Cece did one of her things was about somebody cut the thing off, cut the home monitor off, and went and shot somebody or something, didn't they?
Innocent bystander.
The naval.
Yeah, the Naval Academy.
The mother of
Yeah.
the naval officer.
Man, I didn't even go on the porch. They said, well, you might could go on the porch. I didn't even go on the porch. I didn't want to set off. I didn't want to go nowhere. I didn't want to be locked up no more. I just wanted to come home. All right, y'all. We out of here. Everybody, y'all know how I bring this thing home. Thank you for a wonderful show. Thank you very much, Gina Lee and Cece. My mother likes to take us home with her song because I really feel proud about this show, y'all. I really feel proud about this show and my panel. I really do. I think I got the most awesome historian. I think I have the most awesome doctor and motivational speaker. And I think that my engineer is second to none. And I've got myself, Gina Lee told me that I am the founder. I put this together. I am the founder. So that being said, may the work I've done speak for me. May the life I've lived, may it speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may you all say, may the service we give on our podcast speak for me. Gina Lee, have an awesome day. CC, have an awesome day. Dr. Ted, charge your phone. Hey, and my big cuz over there from North Carolina, Helen Tate says, all we need is God's grace and mercy. We can do it rest. Have an awesome day in the Lord. As always, to God be the glory. Kenny Davis, take us home. Now go out and have a great day on purpose, y'all. 2.5 hours. We done. We out.